All right, we're over here at the hobby house location number 2, and we're making some progress. We ripped out 2 layers of flooring underneath us here. They had a lot going on. They had laid the floors without taking out our trim, so that was really fun. But we got that peeled up. We're gonna do, I don't know if it's gonna be tile or like a click something floor. We'll figure that out in due time. We took out that little rickety ass wall that was here. This, you know, if you remember, there was a little pass through. You couldn't get the fridge out, of course, because of it unless you took the top off. And there was probably like a half gallon of mouse turds behind the fridge. I'm not even exaggerating. It was piled like, yeah, but we took care of that. So ripped this out, figured out that whoever did this work didn't know what they were doing. You can see how wiggly it is. They don't have a king stud in here because there was power running through. So I yanked the power out, and now we can put a king stud here. We're gonna have to space out a little bit and then king stud this in so that it kind of shores up where the connection between that and that is. I'm learning this myself here. But that'll help shore it up and keep the drywall from cracking like it had been, because when people were like leaning on this wall here, it was making the entire thing flex, and that was just causing problems. So yeah, there'll be a little bit of floor work here. We'll probably take out these 2 pieces, build this up to the same height, and that'll kind of solve that, and that'll give us a couple of pieces if we need any fixes anywhere else. I pulled the power out of this wall. There was a 3-way switch. I pulled that out. I'm gonna redo it right here. I've got some new work boxes that once the king stud's put in, I'll slap it right there. I don't know, one of the sides, the other side, it don't really matter. Install another outlet down here, and yeah, then we'll get the drywaller in to finish it up. We'll hang the drywall ourselves, but doing mud and finish work on drywall is the one thing that I really am not good at, and it's kind of like an art, honestly. So I'm gonna let somebody else do that portion of it. But you know, rewiring stuff, putting in switches and outlets and all that kind of good thing, that's super easy work for me. I kind of know electricity, surprise, surprise. So we had talked about this wall earlier. It turns out this is real brick. It's like quarter brick or something, but it's a real brick wall that's laid on top of sheetrock. And we were looking, and you can't see it because we got stuff in the way now, but there's an area of the floor where it looks like people walked around it for probably decades of walking around this spot. So we thought, hey, what's going on here? And then we noticed, well, there's a square in the ceiling, and we got up into the attic, which everything looks fantastic up there. And there was definitely a fireplace. There was a wood burning stove here at one point in time. So when we get everything else done, I'm going to look at potentially reinstalling that fireplace. So it looks like we've got our insulation guy coming. I'm probably gonna end up doing the installation myself, but I'm gonna go ahead and get a bid from a company. Above us is Mouse Turd City. Like I said, behind the fridge, there was a lot of them up in the attic. There's a lot, like nasty amounts. So I've got a bunch of 4-inch PVC hose. My buddy has one of those like dust collection systems. You throw it on a trash can. We got our dumpster dumped, and I'm just gonna vac it all out and then replace it. But you know, I've got this bid coming. We'll see how much it's gonna be for them to do the insulation and go from there. So I'm gonna let him in and talk to y'all in just a minute. All right, I kicked the insulation guy out, and we're back. He's gonna send us a bid. Surprise, surprise. So, you know, things in here. Oh yeah, let me show you all the words that I don't want to say on YouTube anymore. As you can see, there's a gap right here in between the ceiling and the wall. The wall is solid. The ceiling is not. So they put the walls up and then they put the ceilings up in this house, which is kind of what I had thought. And it was actually the case. And on all of the edges, there wasn't a board to land on. And so like on this one, they literally nailed it at an angle, trying to hit the rafter or joist or whatever those things are that is on top of this wall. And so we're gonna go up into the attic after we remove the insulation. We're gonna put in some boards up there that are gonna give us something to screw into that'll keep it from falling down again. And you know, we were looking around this house and it looked like there's water damage here and maybe water damage over there, maybe water damage over there. No, it's just bad drywall and really bad patch jobs on top of drywall. So the damage was from whatever material that they used that was not drywall patching material. You know, that over there, you know, that, just all the seams. Whoever originally built this house did a really bad job. And same for over here. This, where the old fireplace was, you look at it and it's like, oh, that kind of looks like water. Like I see some water damage color right there. And well, we got up in the attic and it is bone dry. The fix to the actual roof was very well done. There's not a sign of water there. So this was just a bad patch job, a really bad patch job. Like, what were you doing, patch job? It looks like toothpaste up there. Like, what, this is not things to use on drywall. I'm not even a construction guy, and I can tell that somebody just wasted a bunch of time and money to make it look worse, is what happened. So this house was a good deal because it looked overwhelming, and it turns out it was just a couple of bad fixes on top of a couple of bad fixes. So the last thing, besides, you know, doing the floors, will be the very last thing that we do, but we are also revamping the bathroom in here. As you can obviously see, we have ripped everything out except for the toilet. The toilet will go because the one thing that I don't want is a used toilet. But I've already priced a tub. We're gonna do a normal, you know, like stand-in, sit-down tub with surround and all that kind of crap. We're probably going to end up turning the toilet sideways just so you're not like so against the wall here. It should, we'll find out, but it should give us a little bit more room. And then we remove the vanity, and the vanity, instead of being here, it's going to actually go into the closet. So this will be a nice wide open space when you walk in. It's such a small space that originally you would walk in and it was just like, you know, here's this and we got to go here and like work around there. It's just small enough to where that was a huge pain in the butt. So sink, vanity, and everything goes in there. We'll do some shelves in there. We may end up doing some shelves over here, something like that. We'll figure it out. Not sure if I'm going to rip out this stuff or not. It's not bad, but at the same time, it definitely dates the place. And if we're going to do the work, and I'm already going to be doing tile work in the house anyway, more than likely, there's a high chance I'm going to end up ripping this out. But we'll see. I don't want to go too far on work and make more work for myself. But everything's coming along pretty quickly, honestly. It's not nearly as bad as what I thought. The rooms, there's really nothing going in the rooms, nothing going on. We pulled the trim out. We're going to refinish the floors. You know, of course, paint, do any drywall work. There's really not much drywall work in here other than fixing the bad fixes there. Like, what is this crap? It just like scrapes right off. It's not, why? We're going to have to seal that over. Oh dear. We're gonna have to do, we're gonna have to seal it, whatever. We did figure out which one is the master bedroom. This is the master bedroom in here. It is larger. And yeah, same thing, just a bunch of weird drywall patches, like, yeah. All right, so that's it. This is the Hobby House version 2. Oh, I lost my little thing here. Let me grab that. There we go, a little pop filter. Yeah, so a couple fixes here and there. We are getting really close. A little bit of lumber. I got the lumber here, a little bit of drywall, which I will get when it's time for drywall. Oh, and air filter up here. Turns out that the reason that the old air filter was all sucked into that return air was that it was the wrong size air filter. This is just, you know, typical for this house, evidently. Whoever was working on this or trying to keep it up was in some sort of fever dream of fixing things, I guess. Like this room, it's painted ceiling to floor in the same color. The trim, the outlets. Let's just paint over the outlets. Let's just paint over all the outlets. Oh, we get half the switch too. Like, that's extra money right there. Half a paint job. That's, you know, you pay extra for that paint. But, you know, everything, all the trim, everything was just like, they missed most of the window casing, but not all of it. Just, you probably can't see because it's too dark and, oh, the lights do work. But yeah, it's like they painted some of the casing and then, I don't know. it's why it was a good deal. Somebody got in over their head. They didn't know what they were doing, and they just made things look worse. So yay for me, I guess. Oh, and when I switched off the power to do some electrical work, now the heat pump's working again. So I don't know what's up with that, but now I'm hearing the compressor in the backyard going off and on whenever this thing kicks on and off. So cool. Well, we're getting close. We'll do another update here soon, but in the meantime, that is all for the Hobby House version number 2, and I'll leave you with that. If you got any questions about bad fix-em jobs, let me know in the comments, and I'll do my best to get to it, even though I'm not a fix-em guy. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day.